You are very welcome back. Now, all morning, Derek has been down at the Kildare Wildlife Rescue Centre in Grey Abbey.
Yeah, he's been learning how to care for a range of Irish wildlife.
Sorry, Derek, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good morning to you. Kildare Wildlife Rescue is where we're at this morning. It's all about little fox cubs and, of course, our feathered friends. It's a busy time of the year. Pierce with us. Good morning to you, Pierce. How are you?
Good morning, Derek. I'm pretty well.
Yeah, great. Pierce, as we mentioned there, it is quite a busy time of the year now, isn't it?
We are starting to get into full swing in orphan season at the moment. So we'll have, in the next couple of months, over 500 animals at any one time in our care. But right now, we're starting to see a lot of the baby birds coming in. Fox cubs, as you saw on camera, coming in. So it's a very tough time for wildlife. The parents are out there working overtime trying to feed all of their offspring, and they're coming into contact with humans. You know?
Let's talk about the fox cubs, because you have a good few in at the moment, don't you?
Yeah, well, we'll have a lot more now in the coming weeks. And the thing about cubs is they need a lot of care. We have to kind of handle them and give them the kind of examinations and feeding that they need. But then they go through the process of being wilded up over the summer, and then later on in the year they'll be suitable for release.
What should people do if they spot a stray little fox cub, potentially in their back garden?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing is enjoy all wildlife from a distance. This is our natural heritage, and we should love seeing it. Those cubs, they're a joy to see, but if there's no parents around, so do keep a close eye. If there's no parents around, they might need care.
And like normally the mum would stay quite close for the first couple of months, wouldn't she?
Yeah, absolutely. But she'll be going out and getting food, and so will the partner, the dad. He'll be going out, they'll be getting fed up and coming back. And what we tend to see sometimes, unfortunately, is those animals that while they're out there on the hunt doing that extra kind of calorie gathering, they might get hit by a car, and then we have orphaned fox cubs that do need to come in.
Yeah, and let's talk about the rehabilitation process then. Of course, you work very closely with Grey Abbey vets down here.
That's right, yeah. We're really lucky to have 24-hour access to a vet there in Grey Abbey. Really, like, that's a game changer for us. And then we're right next door. Fox cubs come in here. First of all, they go into that mammal room that people have seen, and they get, close contact care. Then they go through a phase of being more and more wilded up. These are not pets. As cute as the cubs are, wildlife should be enjoyed at a distance for being wild. So we like to wild up these animals again and then release them back.
And of course, we mentioned earlier on, you keep the handling to a minimum as well. So
yeah.
Try to keep them as wild as possible.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. As tempting as it can be to kind of handle these things, because they do look great. They look gorgeous. The cubs even have their little blue eyes like a dog. The fact is, these animals should be respected just for being wild, and I love them. I understand why people love seeing them as cute as they are, but yeah, we get them back in the wild and reproduce.
Of course, and the final aim is to release them then eventually.
All
How long would you keep them here for?
It will depend on what's going on with the animals, but those animals need to be able to fend for themselves, so we have to wait and see how they're performing out there in the wilder area of Kildare Wildlife Rescue.
Okay, we'll come back to you in a second, Pierce. We're popping over here to Alice. Good morning to you, Alice. Alice, will you talk us through where we are at the moment?
Yeah, we are in the baby bird room right now at the Kildare Wildlife Rescue Centre. So this room is nice and toasty, which you might notice.
Yeah, it's really warm,
it's
isn't
tropical
it?
here.
How many birds have you got in care at the moment?
In care right now, we have approximately 150 birds on site. Right now, we're probably 50 of them are probably ones that are dependent on being fed by us.
Okay, yeah. Obviously a busy time for the birds, because obviously they're nesting with a lot of eggs. So first up, if people see some stray eggs, loose eggs, what would you advise them to do?
So anytime you see something of interest and you're not sure what to do, we say get a video, get a photo of it. Videos are ideal, and email it to info@kwr.ie, and our help desk will help you out with that. So they'll be able to see what's going on and assess the problem and tell you if it needs to come into the centre or if you can reunite the eggs.
Yeah, now obviously cats can be an issue this time of year, especially as birds begin to nest and lay their eggs.
Yeah, cats are definitely an issue this time of year. So where you're asking people if they can take their cats and just keep them kind of inside or keep them close by, so that they're not pulling any birds out of the nests. We have several birds right now that are in our care. This little magpie we're going to see, he was brought in by a cat. As well as hedge cutting right now. Hedge cutting is a problem for nesting birds. And there is a hedge cutting ban that is in place.
Of
Beginning
course, there's No Mow May coming up next month.
yeah,
isn't it?
no mow May as well. No mow May is really important to helping our birds because it helps our insect populations. The insect populations are important for the birds. 90% of our terrestrial birds in Ireland are insectivores, so they rely entirely on caterpillars and insects to feed their young.
This is what happens when they come in here. These are beautiful crochet nests sent in by some volunteers, in fact.
Yes, they are. So members of the public sometimes reach out to us and they crochet these little nests for us. There is a pattern that's available, so we're always looking for
That's
them.
great. And what is this used for then? A little duster?
That is a foster mother. So that is for our duckling babies that come in, because when they come in, they're very small and very stressed, and that just gives them the comfort of feeling the mother's
that's clever,
feathers.
isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, very quickly, we're going to say good morning to Rachel, all the way from?
Carlo.
Carlo, and you're just a new volunteer. Why did you decide to volunteer with Kildare Wildlife Rescue?
Because I love animals and I heard that these wonderful people here needed as much help as possible taking care of all these orphan baby birds. And
You come down here how often?
I'm going to try and come 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay,
Yeah.
and to anyone watching this morning who wishes to volunteer, what would you say?
I highly recommend it, and it's extremely fulfilling work. And if you have any spare time on your hands at all, come and give these wonderful people here a helping hand.
Love that,
Yeah.
Rachel. Okay, we're going to finish off, Pierce. This, would you believe, is a little magpie, right?
That's right, yeah. So be sure to give it a salute for it so you don't get bad luck.
Yeah. So Sarah Jane's going to feed him
She's
now.
feeding the magpie. Yeah.
Talk us through the process.
So yeah, they need to be fed very often, so they're going to be basically constantly feeding. And like I said, just with the fox cubs, the same thing. When they get fed, they get more and more wild as they go.
Yeah.
Keeping the handling to a minimum. And you can see he's having a sleep. He's
having a snooze. He's not having any breakfast.
He'll start screeching again in a
Okay.
minute and get fed again, and on and on and on. It's an endless cycle. That's why we need volunteers like Rachel and Sarah.
Absolutely. And I know you have a big fundraiser up and running as well.
That's right. None of this happens without the fundraising. And so Janice Byrne Goldsmith, we'd really love if people could support her current raffle. It's the biggest fundraiser we do each year. It's all Irish jewellery makers and goldsmiths. They make absolutely stunning jewellery.
And so to support the work that you do down here.
100%. All of those jewellers have given these things just to support Kildare
Wow.
Wildlife Rescue, and people can win them. I think the top prize is worth $3.5 grand.
Okay.
And it would really support all of this. 'Cause
Okay, so to Pierce, Alice and Rachel. Sarah Jane, he's not feeding for you yet this morning. kwr.ie for more information online. But for now, back to the studio. Oh, he's feeding now, look. Oh, look. Open up. Oh, he's nearly there. Oh, beautiful. Gorgeous little
He
fella.
wore the T-shirt for a reason.
Yes,
They'll feed
the
him
birds.
again later on with all of his birds on him. Thank you
Those
very much,
little
Derek. That's
cubs
lovely.
as well, isn't the little foxes?
The little
Love it.
foxes were lovely.
Thank you very much, Derek. Now, still to come on the show, sports columnist Eamon Sweeney is going to be in for a chat.
We're also learning how to put together our own capsule wardrobe on the catwalk.
And the Skinner Jennifer Rock is going to be answering your questions. You can WhatsApp them right now, 0896 111 111.
We'll be right back after the short break.